you've spent a lot of time in barbershops. You own one. This might be the best barbershop debate of all time.
It is not. It's
Ali,
idiotic.
it is one of those.
Tony Cornish
Walk into a
straight right.
Walk into a barbershop and drop this question and watch what happens. Okay, here are their stats for the career. Ali, who turns 70 today, a three-time heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson, 50-6 overall in his career. If they were to step into the ring, both in their prime, what would happen?
I'm ashamed we're doing this question. Please, can anybody even begin to make a case for Mike Tyson?
Yes, I'm going to make one. Yes.
Both?
I'm going to
which
start.
is hearsay.
All right?
I mean,
because, Skip, I know when you look at Mike Tyson's career over the long haul and the loss to Buster Douglas and the way it ended and how messy it was. I understand that. So you forget when he started and the way he used to knock out people.
Who?
Mike Tyson.
No, who did he beat?
No, everybody who we fought.
Guys we've never heard of.
Larry Holmes.
But those were the guys who were there, though. I mean, Jay, you only can fight who's there.
Who beat
right?
Ali.
Who didn't he fight at that time?
A long time ago.
All I'm saying is, at that time, I still remember of all the fights, Tony Bruno standing there in the corner.
Tony Bruno?
Well, I'm just saying, he's standing there, big muscles, and he's shivering. He's shivering before the fight, and he gets knocked out in the first round. I couldn't believe it.
Which Tony Bruno?
Frank Bruno. Frank.
I think he's got the radio personality confused with Frank
I believe
Bruno,
he beat the radio personality.
Now look,
I get it.
I think he might have beaten a radio personality along the way.
Ali was the greatest technical fighter that ever lived. He had a devastating jab, and he was a great champion.
Jay,
I see him out in Phoenix. It's really hearsay, but I think of the Tyson that I watched when I was young, and the real raging bull. I mean, there was a stretch there that not only did he beat everybody, I mean, he started 37-0, but he knocked everybody out in the first or the second round. In the middle of that 37-0 run, he had 7 fights where he knocked him out in the first or second round 6 times. I mean, this was a guy. You think of it. Think of who Ali lost to. Think of who Ali lost to in his prime. Frazier and Norton, right? Who does Tyson remind you of? Of Frazier? I mean, he's going to come after him. Not only that, but he knocked guys out. Of his 50 wins, he had 44 knockouts. Ali outlasted guys. Of his 56 wins, he had something like 36 knockouts.
Because he boxed. Well, he boxed.
Or he would do the rope-a-dope, which he did a lot.
Which is boxing. I mean, that was his style, and he was very good at it.
I'm ashamed that I have to stoop to even be involved in this discussion. But I guess I have no choice since that's what we're doing here. This is absurd. Mike Tyson, as what was his name, Tony Cornish said, he wouldn't last 3 rounds. First of all, Mike Tyson might be 5'10", but I think he's closer to 5'9". Ali was a full 6'3" with reach that he would toy with.
He had almost a 10-inch advantage on the reach.
Okay, so let's start with that, and then let's start.
But that never hurt Tyson.
We're talking about
get
prime.
In there tight.
We're talking about prime. Let's go all the way back to the first couple of fights against Sonny Liston for Ali. He was the big bear, and Ali made him quit twice. That's what would happen to Mike Tyson. He would quit in this fight. And Ali took on the biggest, baddest, toughest guys on the planet. And this is way before your time, but I'm talking about George Shafalo, Oscar Bonavena, Jerry Corey. These were tough guys. And it would go the distance, and Ali would just beat them into pulps.
If it goes the distance, he's going to beat Tyson.
But
it's going to be over in 2 rounds.
That wasn't his style, was to come out, put everything in, and try to get a knockout in the first or second round. So you're right.
Okay.
Past 3 or 4 rounds, I would give it to Ali.
Then he beat Joe Frazier 2 out of 3, and the third was the greatest fight ever fought, the Thrilla in Manila. And he rope-a-doped George Foreman when George Foreman wasn't selling grills. He was the beast of all times.
He was selling beatdowns.
He was scary. He was so scary, Ali's people were afraid for him.
And he lost to Ken Norton before that.
Okay, and then he came back and whooped him bad the next time because Ali didn't take Ken Norton seriously the first time. So let's look at what Mike Tyson did early on. He beat up... Really, Mitch Tillis, Blood Green.
You can do that with
not Joe Frazier,
nobody knows.
But Marvis Frazier, really?
That
Marvis
was
Frazier,
cousin, right?
Pinklon Thomas. Are you kidding me? He beat a fading Larry Holmes. Wait. Larry Holmes at 39 years old. Really?
But Skip,
really?
Who didn't he fight? No,
Okay.
Answer my question.
He beat whoever was out there.
Who didn't he fight during that era,
his fight of fights, the fight that made Mike Tyson who he is, was a light heavyweight named Michael Spinks. Not Leon Spinks, who Ali beat had to come back and beat him
Stepped up in class.
Yeah. But Michael Spinks weighed like 188 to fight a heavyweight fight. Are you kidding me?
Both of their careers ended terribly. I mean, they both lost 3 of their last 4 fights, and you have to ignore that because that was not either Ali or Tyson.
I'll give me
this. Just give me the fighter that he ducked and he didn't fight during his era.
I give him 2 fights. Razor Ruddock. That's all Mike Tyson beat. Where I say that's reasonably impressive. And then I look at Ali's resume, and it's all-time great. This fight would be a joke to Ali.
Ignoring Rob's point. I mean, he beat everybody.
I know, but Jay, to Rob's point, if we look at the heavyweight division, which was once upon a time, you could make the case.
Oh, that was the greatest.
It was America's favorite sport.
Absolutely.
And that division was the sexy division. Okay, in the 60s and 70s, it still had a lot of appeal. It began to lose steam in the 80s. By the 90s, what was left? And what do we have now? Can you name one heavyweight fighter right now?
But think back to when he lost to Buster Douglas. Before that, he was the most amazing thing you had ever seen. He was this blur in the ring that just came in and destroyed anything.
No, he's just a bully. That's all he was.
And it worked.
He was like the human pit bull.
And you got to admit,
that's right.
You got to admit, and Skip, and I'm not saying Muhammad Ali's not the greatest. He is the greatest. But at one point, I still will tell you that story when he got out of prison, and I remember being uptown in Harlem, and the people followed him like the Pied Piper. He did connect with people because of that brute strength
and he still does.
Yeah, but that still pales in comparison to Ali's following.
Ali went to Zaire and
wherever he went.
Right. He was the greatest champion of all time, no question, and still is.
Yeah, it'd be like one of the comics where the guy's holding him off and just like that. You know,
I really wish that we could find out. It's a shame that it's one of the universe. But I tend to lean towards Skip.
I want to see Skip.